I'm Sophia, I'm a research fellow at the ILC, and I just wanted to talk a bit about a short commentary piece I did recently on digital exclusion in the context of COVID. So what this was exploring is what COVID may mean for the 22% of the UK population who lack the digital skills needed for everyday life. And a key argument of this is that COVID-19 risks widening inequalities already faced by people who are digitally excluded, but at the same time may act as a catalyst to accelerate digital inclusion efforts. So the first key point is that digital exclusion may add to the health risks people face during COVID. This is because people who are digitally excluded may struggle to purchase vital goods and services, look after their health, and socially connect from the safety of their own homes. While those with sufficient digital skills may be able to easily order food and medicines online, Skype loved ones, use digital care technologies and have video calls with their doctor and carer to ensure their health is regularly monitored, those who are digitally excluded may have to risk their health by going outside or needing to invite people into their homes to do these activities. And if they don't do this, they may need to forgo some of these activities which are vital for their health. For instance, by taking medications unsupervised or limiting their social interactions with loved ones. Well, the second key point is that digital exclusion actually risks increasing existing inequalities, particularly health inequalities. And this is because those who are digitally excluded are already more likely to be economically and socially excluded in the first place. They're more likely to be in poverty, have low incomes, and come from low socioeconomic backgrounds, but also have poor health because of the association between poor health and economic outcomes. So while digital exclusion further risks people's health during COVID, this is likely to affect people whose health is already disadvantaged. And this is really important. Health inequalities are stark and growing in the UK, and so this is a really serious issue. But on a more positive note, the urgency of COVID may actually act as a catalyst to accelerate digital inclusion efforts and overcome long-standing barriers to achieving this. So what we're seeing is that innovators across business and local government and the voluntary sector have all adapted fast to make their products and services more inclusive, adapting products to make them safely usable during COVID, and really considering the needs of the most vulnerable users. And finally, by directly addressing cost, skill and language barriers to using technologies in the community. And this crisis is actually also challenging a common belief and one of the most important subtle barriers to digital inclusion, that digital tech is not useful. So we're actually seeing digitally excluded people and their family members now recognising that digital products and services are a need to have and not a nice to have. And we're seeing the demand for digital care technologies and digital devices soar. So really it's quite exciting to see many barriers to digital inclusion being rapidly dismantled in this current period. But, and there is a big but, these efforts are not coordinated, and this risks leaving many people behind. And so national and local government need to coordinate these efforts and promote best practice so everyone can benefit from these innovations. We have a lot of these solutions out there, but not everyone is benefiting from them. We need to tackle the cost and skill barriers in local communities to support the most vulnerable. And you might be thinking, how might government be able to do this in these cash-strapped times? Well, we know the volunteer service for the NHS was massively oversubscribed, and we can tap into that source of goodwill. And although it's up to the government to come up with more specific solutions, the key point is that we can't afford to not address this. The consequences for inequality are not acceptable. And as Tim Berners-Lee, the inventor of the World Wide Web, recently stated, access to the internet has been a lifeline to many during the COVID pandemic, and tackling digital exclusion needs to be a top priority.